Hello, church. It's Thursday. It was Thursday, April 2nd, AD 33, and it was evening, and the time that Jesus had with his disciples was coming to an end. They had spent the evening in a borrowed upper room. It was in that upper room that Jesus had washed their feet. It was in that upper room that Jesus had Passover celebration with them. It was in the upper room that Jesus had given his disciples the hope of another comforter, the hope of his return, the promise of his faithfulness. It was in that upper room he taught them how to abide with him, the importance of unity. He prayed for them, and he taught them the certainty of the persecution that was to come. But there was another lesson that he would teach them that night in another place. As they left the upper room, they headed towards Gethsemane. And as they arrived at the garden, he asked his disciples to sit and to pray, while he went a little further on to pray on his own. It is in the garden, in prayer, that Jesus demonstrates the lesson of a yielded life, the lesson of obedience. Jesus was the Son of God, the Messiah. Jesus was also fully human, tempted in every way as we are, and yet without sin. But this does not mean he did not learn and he did not grow. Clearly, the scriptures teach us that Jesus grew. In Luke chapter 2, we read, "And Jesus kept increasing in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and men." He grew in his understanding, it tells us, that he grew physically and he grew in his relationships. And in Hebrews, we read, "Although he was the Son, he learned obedience from the things which he suffered." Jesus, fully man, had come to this moment that he knew would come, the moment he would be asked to willingly give himself for the salvation of those who had rejected him. He would be made sin so that we who had sinned could become righteous, or we could become right before God. It was there in the garden that Jesus yielded to this final step in his journey. In Matthew 26, we read, "And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and he began to be grieved and distressed. Then he said to them, 'My soul is deeply grieved to the point of death. Remain here and keep watch with me.' And he went a little beyond them, and he fell on his face, and he prayed, saying, 'My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me, yet not as I will, but as you will.'" Jesus is deeply grieved to the point of death, the description of someone whose all strength has left their body. He began to sweat blood from his pores. He asks his Father in heaven, "Is there any other way to do this? Is there any other way to get this done? If so, please, let's choose that way. But if not, your will be done, not mine." This is what it means to have a yielded life. Not my will, but yours be done. What is it that God is asking of us today? What is he asking of you today? And can we say, as Christ, our Lord, said, "Not my will, but yours be done"? This is some things to ponder this Holy Thursday.